One of the interesting things about using MySQL, if you've never used it before, is you got these databases here, but how do you start, getting in and doing a query out of one? A couple different ways that you can do it. When you have like your query tab that's open, you could do a use command. Let me make sure this is showing up right here. And we could do use, and I could type in kimte if I wanted to, and then put a semicolon at the end of this, and then run this. And then one of the things you'll notice is this immediately became dark, and then opened up, and now I can see all the different code that's there, or all the different tables that are inside this database. So that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is, let me close out of this and not save that particular tab, and we'll close this little guy here, and we'll start open a new query tab again. This time I'm not going to do anything. I'm actually just going to go over here and go to stay well. I'm going to click twice on that. When I do that, now this shows up as being a darker color here, and this means that this is currently the schema that you're working in. So now I'm working in stay well. So any code that I write is going to show up for that particular database. So if I want to flip back between the two, like there's an assignment in the book here to where they want you to use kimte, and I'll put in this big long line of code that I had to type in. So this might look a little weird because it comes directly out of the textbook, and I believe it's on page, is it 141 is where this comes out of. So at top of 141, it looks very different. And in fact, when you take a look at it there, there's a whole bunch of spaces that are in there, like right after they did invoice date, they put a return there. So then it looks like that on that second line. And they just did this literally because in the book, it doesn't all fit on the one page. So they split it all up. This does exactly the same thing. In fact, when it says select invoice num, and I'll try to make this look a lot like how they had theirs. And this is not bad practice either. To do things like this, so that way you can see where each line of code is doing something, and then you have an idea. And I would almost select make this on its own line as well, but I'm not going to, just because they didn't do it in the book here, so I don't want to confuse you. But this looks just like it does in the book, and that's really no different. If you go and run this code, it's going to give you exactly the same result. Whether those spaces are there or not, it wouldn't make a difference. So as you go through this, just realize as you're going through the book, you don't necessarily have to write it this way. This is just a time management thing, being able to get things to fit. So I hope that helps you being able to flip between the two databases, and also an understanding of how they type the code out in the book and how it should be typed inside MySQL.